Good morning. Today we are covering 9.2. We are covering parabolas. You guys will be graphing and writing equations of parabolas. And in this section, we are covering standard 16.0. If you guys need additional help, there are additional video lessons online and examples on brightstorm.com. It's a free website. The only thing that you have to do is just make a quick account. So let's go and start with the lesson. We're going to go through the definition in a second. We are covering parabolas. Just like we guys have seen before, a parabola has a line of symmetry, a vertex, but because we are covering as part of a conic sections, we also have a focus and a directrix. If you guys can go ahead and sketch that over on the left-hand side of your notes. And I'm going to give you guys a second. You can go ahead and pause it if you guys need additional time. Now, if you don't have the parabolas that I gave out in class, the overhead transparencies, then you can go ahead and just go and draw up and down. And this is the one that you guys have seen back on chapter 4. And right and left, if it's facing up or down, we have x squared is equal to 4py. If it's facing right or left, it's y squared is equal to 4px. They're similar. And the way I remember is, I'll tell you guys in a few seconds on the first example. P is the distance from the vertex to the focus. So the distance from the vertex to the focus is the value of P. Let's go and move over to example number 1. On example number 1, I need to be able to graph the given parabola. The first thing that you want to do, we want to be able to determine which equation you need to be using or which way your parabola will be facing. If you notice, this is negative 8x on the right hand side. And the way I remember this is that it has to be facing the negative x-axis. So it has to be facing the negative x-axis. So this is the way the parabola will look. And I'm going to make a little sketch here to remind me that once I'm done, my parabola will have to be facing to the left. And because it's facing to the left, this is the equation that I'll be using. I'll be using the left-hand side to illustrate this. Y squared is equal to 4px. First thing that you want to do, we want to be able to find the vertex. The vertex, in this case, there's no h and k. You guys will see on the back side, we have one that has a different vertex. But for now, we're going to start with the easier problem with vertex 0, 0, which is located here. Now, I need to be able to find my focus. So I'm going to find the value of P to find your focus and also to find your directrix. I'm always going to let this, because of the formula, 4p will be equal to negative 8. 4p is equal to negative 8. Then I solve for p. P is equal to negative 2. So I found my vertex. And now that I have the value of p to be negative 2, I know that p is the distance from the vertex to the focus. This is negative 2, so I'm going to go to the left 2, and that'll be the focus. Your directrix will be placed on the opposite side, the same distance, so 1, 2. And remember, your directrix will be a line. We are drawing it as a dashed line because it's not part of the parabola. And the equation is x is equal to, it crosses the x-axis at 2, so x is equal to 2. Now that you have this, it is important that you also make a little sketch of the parabola, and this is going to be very helpful. Remember that your focus will always have to be inside the parabola. Now we're going to be making a table of values to find additional points on the parabola. I'm going to plug in values for x, and I'm going to use this equation. Now, what values to plug in for x? You want to be able to go inside the problem to be able to find those 2 points. You cannot plug in a 1 because there are no points on this x equal to 1. So there's no way that we can plug in a 1. Also, if you plug in a 1, you'll see that once you take the square root, you'll take a square of a negative number. And you know that you did something wrong. So I'm going to plug in a negative 1. Remember to always go inside your parabola. That will give me y squared is equal to negative 8. Instead of the x will be a negative 1. That'll be y squared is equal to 8. And I'm going to take the square root on both sides to solve for y. Y is equal to the square root of 8, which is approximately 2.9. The square of 9 is 3. This is 1 less than 9, so this will be 2.9. Now, this will give me two values. Yes, I forgot the plus and minus. One with a positive and one with a negative. Remember, every time you take the square root on both sides, you have a plus or minus. So the first point will be, for your x, will be negative 1, comma, positive 2.9. The second point will be negative 1, comma, negative 2.9. I'm going to go and plot both points from your origin, negative 1 and 1, 2.9, and negative 1 and 1, 2.9. So those are my 2 points. I need you guys to find another set of points. So I'm going to go once again to the left. I'm going to plug in a negative 2. Remember, you always want to plug in numbers inside your parabola for the x. That'll be y squared is equal to negative 8. Instead of the x will be a negative 2. That'll give me y squared is equal to 16. That means y is equal to plus or minus 4. We take the square root on both sides, and every time you take the square root, you have a plus or minus. This will give us two additional points. Your x value is negative 2. Your y value, one of them will be positive 4, the other one will be negative 4. So negative 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4. And the other one will be negative 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4. So go ahead and erase your previous sketch. And now you can connect the points that are a little more exact. And that will be your problem.